Welcome to the second day MAYANTARA JAK.ID 2021. Good morning, everyone. MAYANTARA is a live virtual festival that serves as a platform for actors related to the creative industry sector, especially design. MAYANTARA JAK.ID 2021 is a special collaborative event hosted by MAYANTARA and HDII Jakarta with an angle of interior and spatial design as a gateway to rich public experience, as well as to celebrate Jakarta's 494 anniversary that will be coming this June. This virtual event will be held on 16 until 18 June 2021 as a preliminary event towards MAYANTARA 2021 that will be held in August 2021. For the first session this morning, will be held a session by AHEC, American Hardwood Export Council, with the topic, Making a Good Choice, the Best Timber for the Best Outcome. I'm Vittorio Lozano. I'm the Secretary General of ADPII. Will serve as MC and moderator with you today. Selamat datang di hari kedua dari MAYANTARA JAK.ID 2021. Kali ini kita bertemu di webinar dengan AHEC dengan topik Making a Good Choice, the Best Timber for the Best Outcome. Sebuah topik yang menarik. Okay, now please allow me to introduce one of the stakeholder of the MAYANTARA JAK.ID 2021. There's Ibu Rina Renfield from HDII. HDII is a Himpunan Desain Interior Indonesia, is a registered professional organization representing interior designers in Indonesia. And Mrs. Rina Renfield is the chairperson of HDII Jakarta for the period 2019 to 2022. Please, Ibu Rina, wave at the camera. Good morning, Burina. Nice to have you here. Hope you are good and healthy. Okay, this session, I would like to say thank you for AHEC, American Hardwood Export Council. And AHEC is the leading international trade association for the American hardwood industry. For more than 30 years, AHEC has been at the forefront of the international wood promotion. Around the world, AHEC works to inspire, support, and provide technical advice for architects, designers, specifiers, and manufacturers. If you want to know about them, please follow them at their Instagram account, AHEC_SEA, to see how exciting design and get the latest update for our region. So today, we have the Regional Director of AHEC SEA, John Chan. Please, John, wave the camera. Hi, John. How are you? Good morning. Nice to have you here. And thank you for the support. Okay, for this event today, we have the speakers is Mr. Eddie Budiono. I would like to tell you a short, brief story about Eddie. Hi, Eddie. Please wave at the camera. Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning.
A cheerful person. Eddie is a CEO and the owner of PT Abadi Indorona. He's an importer, stockist, and wholesaler of most U.S. hardwood species in lumber and veneer in Indonesia for, I don't know, it's more than 25 or 30 years, I think. So he is really a man with a full experience. And with us also today, we have the facilitator for the discussion today is Mr. Arif Odon. He is the, please, Mr. Arif, Pak Arif, wave to the camera. Good morning, Pak Arif. Nice to have you here. Hope you are healthy and in good condition. Mr. Arif Odon is he is editor-in-chief of Wood Mag, is a prominent magazine that review or discuss and provide you all the news about wood. He will be the facilitator for the today discussion. And I would like to remind you to all the attendees that during along the discussion we have a survey. You can find the survey in the webinar chat box. Please help us to fill the survey and help AHEC to plan the future events that aim to the design community. So if you think that this kind of event should be held more regularly, please let us know and give us some advice to make the event better and better. And the survey is available in both English and Indonesian in Bahasa Indonesia. So feel free to fill the survey, and please kindly submit the survey before the end of the session. And if you have any questions during to the speakers or facilitator, please you can write your question to the chat box, and will be read it during the question and answer. Okay, that's a short opening for me. And now we're going to play Regional Director's AHEC message by John Chan. John Chan, please, the time and the place is yours. Thank you.
Dear guests, organizer, friends of HDII and AHEC, and speakers of these sessions, welcome to join our webinar sessions today. You may have frequently heard of the notions carbon neutrality, climate change, and sustainability. How can we actually be part of it to contribute and help the environment? The choice of wood material is for sure one of the most important factors that can speed up carbon neutrality. The seminar topics to be presented today have addressed the choice of timber, design, production, and sustainability. Happen to be AHEC's program and message promoting U.S. hardwoods. U.S. hardwood can offer you more choices and selections for furniture design, architectural, and interior design projects. You are going to discover the examples of U.S. hardwood's workability and natural beauty in the woodcraft furniture from the presentations today. U.S. hardwood has been considered one of the world's environmentally friendly materials. First and foremost, it is renewable and is naturally regenerated. Secondly, wood is a carbon store. Growing trees takes up carbon dioxide. Almost 50% of the dry weight of a tree is carbon. So conversion of wood into products such as furniture and doors contributes to long-term removal of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, helping to reduce global warming. These products that crafted of American hardwood act as carbon store of millions of carbon dioxide for many decades. Thirdly, I want to point out that wood is also energy efficient. The creation of useful products in wood also requires relatively less energy than other materials. For example, the production of 1 kilogram of kiln-dry hardwood requires half the energy to produce an equivalent mass of concrete and a fraction of the energy required to produce steel, plastic, or aluminum. It is more important than ever that we protect our natural environment and turn our intentions to preserve it into actions. Using wood from well-managed resources, such as the American forests, is one of the most environmentally sound choices that we can make as consumer and specifiers. Our role in the Southeast Asia and Greater China region is to support architects and designers like you in considering the environmental impact of your material choice and giving you evidence to substantiate that your choice is a responsible one. We are also encouraging you as specifier to explore species that you may not have used before. The forest is a natural resource, and it is important not just to use the 1 or 2 species that are in fashion, but to use the species that the forest provides. For this reason, we are delighted to see species such American cherry, hard and soft maple, walnut, white oak, ash, and red oak, etc., being embraced by designers around the world. It is also heartening that there is a growing willingness to incorporate the natural character of the timber in design. I urge you to join me in turning from talk to actions when it comes to sustainable design. Together, we can make a difference. I would like to take the chance to thank Rina Ranvel, the HDII Jakarta president, and her team to invite AHEC to be co-organizing this webinar series in this Design Week. I especially thank Garrett McDonald, Agriculture Attaché, and Arif Remenulov, Agriculture Specialist, for supporting AHEC's program in Indonesia. I hope you enjoy the seminar today. Stay safe, happy, and healthy.
Thank you, John. Thank you. So now we're going to, after John's speech, we're going to have a video. Yeah, a video about a virtual factory tour that will be presented by Eddie. And afterwards, Pak Arif will ask Eddie some questions. Okay, enjoy the video.
Ini adalah pemilihan vinir dari masuk mesin clipping atau mesin potong dan disusun secara manual. Ini untuk membuat base-nya, untuk membuat pintu.
So this is allow me to translate. So this is the fingering process to make the door.
Yeah, this is with the gluing machine, and this is the substrate, and the substrate is made of MDF or particle board. This is the gluing process of the substrate, preparing for lead up to the face. They put the face of white oak onto the particle board or the substrate. They manually cutting the excess vinyl. They use also white oak lumber, and the white oak lumber here is cut or ripped for the edge and also for insert when they make door panel. This is the pressing for the edge. Here is a UV machine, so it's a coating machine, very fast, and it's all automatic. It's graded carefully. There are about 1,500 workers there in this factory in Central Java. And the product is exported mostly to Europe and also to United States. You know, the daily production of this mill is about 750 pieces of door a day. And their export is about 30 container a month. The average price is around $70 per door. It's about that. So you can calculate what is the amount per month they export. But don't forget, they have like about 1,500 to 2,000 workers there. Go ahead, Pak Arif. Any question?
Thank you, Pak Edi. And it is a very nice presentation. Allow me to ask you about this video presentation. It seems that the process involving some wood veneer, and it looks like they're producing using one of the American species, which is white oak. Is it correct, Pak Edi?
Yes, white oak. That's true.
Yeah. Now I wonder, perhaps you can tell me when you filming the production process side. Can you tell me, or can you tell us what was the reason the company or the producer is using the white oak veneer for the door product?
Oh, Yeah, first of all, I think why they make the made of with the white oak, because it's first it's the order. It's the order from the buyer in abroad. So it's not from their, I mean, their decision to make the white oak, but this is by request of the buyer.
Okay. What I understand, white oak is
okay
also famous, yeah? Yeah, it's also famous for export market and domestic market too, JAK.ID. Is it correct?
Oh, yes. I mean, export mainly, but domestic market is still white oak too.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Pak Rio.
Okay, thank you, Pak Arif and Pak Edi, for the nice question and answer. And now we're going to have another video about small scale industry or SMEs. Okay, please enjoy the video.
Enggak jelas. Yeah, this is the video is taken in Jepara, where it's very, very rural and very basic. Look, it's all basic machinery and basic tool, not machine, it's a tool. This video is showing how they make the chair leg from the recycled wood. The recycle from the wood ex pallet. In pallet, it's like jati Belanda from pallet. So it's cheap. And this is only for the substrate. They glue with the PVAC glue, white glue, and press with the very manual and the clamping. So when they press, they stack, and it's about, like 12 hours to dry it. But it's not one by one like this. They press like for the 20. Oh, sorry, this video is uncensored. So they use the rotary lathes, but manual rotary lathe. I mean, very basic. And they shape the chair table. I mean the table legs. How they shape the legs by manual. They call it mesin bubut. So we have, I think, this is UMKM, or the home industry, and I use them a lot for my furniture, my pieces of furniture in Semarang. Look how they sand, Barry. I mean, they sand it with very manual, and they are now preparing with the walnut.
Okay.
In Jepara they call it walnut. It's not walnut, walnut. So they use the quick setting glue, with it's a yellow. We call it yellow glue here.
Okay.
So it's all done manually by hand. And they do not need the heating press. They just use the hand and very manual. And it's proven. It is, like almost 10 years I have at home, and they stick, no problem.
Okay. Amplas lagi tuh, Pak, ya?
Amplas lagi, yes.
Okay, Pak Edi, can I ask something?
Oh, sure.
So they're using wood vinyl. I mean walnut, right?
Yeah, they use walnut for the leg, and the substrate is actually recycled wood. Again, it's recycled pallet.
So they're laminating the circle stick of the chair. I think the product, yeah.
No, yeah. For the chair leg, table leg. You will see the finish later. I mean,
Okay.
look, they use the UV finish here, clear finish, and look, it's like solid walnut.
It looks like a solid walnut. So
Given
it's a veneer, yeah?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So
But
here
what-
I can say that they know all the imported veneer like walnut or white oak. Look, the tabletop is white oak, and it's a lot used for the coffee, like cafe. If you go to the coffee bean and tea leaf, a lot of the red oak being used for the tabletop like this. It's done. This is the the coffee table. Hello. Any question, Pak Arif? Okay, let's play with my share screen to be gimana lah? Yang katanya. Ini play. Yeah, making good choice, the best timber for the best outcome. Hey, look, this is my picture hugging the tree, but I'm not really tree hugger. But according to the study, that the hugging tree is good to boost hormone oxytocin, or we call it hormone cinta. Just believe it. Just believe it. But so do not forget to hug your partner anyway. And during this pandemic season, I would suggest if everything is calming, so take a break and outing to the maybe near here is Kebun Raya Bogor or Cibodas. Then you will feel hug the tree and you will feel very calm, and this arouse your again it's like arousing the hormone of the oxytocin. And here showing the beautiful American hardwood forest. So look, very colorful during the autumn. And this is temperate forest. So deciduous forest, deciduous tree. There are hardwood and softwood around there. And this is the forest ownership in the United States. Although this like 2014, but it's pretty less the same, more or less the same. So the red one, it's mostly on the west side, west of the United States, forest with the conifer forest, and on the east side of United States is mostly a temperate forest or hardwood. And the ownership here is mostly belong to the family member. And this is more for legacy. And then that's why sometimes it's difficult for the FSC to assess the forest because this is belong to the family member. But don't worry, I mean the NHLA, National Hardwood Lumber Association, with AHEC, assuring that and having the FSC certificate. So when you buy this, always FSC. See, the 100 about 2.3 billion acre of the land, 1/3 is forested. So it's about 800 million acre. 1 acre is about 4,000 square meter. So you can calculate. This land capable and available for growing trees to harvest for wood, paper, recreation, wildlife, habitat, watershed protection. This is the statistic of hardwood export value to Indonesia for the first quarter 21, showing the increase of hardwood lumber and big hardwood log and increase for 2 and hardwood log decrease because the log here is mostly for the making the fish. So they do for the fancy plywood, and not many fancy plywood mill currently in Indonesia. So they buy hardwood lumber, and hardwood lumber is used for flooring, for other purposes like chair, and also the musical instrument. And so hardwood veneer in here, because a lot of the manufacturer now is all engineer. They call it like engineer door, engineer flooring, etc. So they use a lot of hardwood veneer. And this is the amount of Indonesian import for the first quarter 20 and 21. So here showing white oak increased a lot, and S is about the same, increased 6%, and maple. So we see a lot of increase here, like from 3,320 cubic meter in 2019 first quarter. The first quarter 2021 is 5,100 cubic meter. When thinking about what wood to use in your project, three things to consider. First is quality. No doubt. I mean, the quality is very important when you buy or importing the hardwood. Especially the quality, you have to make sure that it's done well in the kiln dry. So the correct moisture content, proper moisture content, proper machining, and properly graded. And each alley have a standard grading rule. So I think American Hardwood Council periodically conducting the seminar for the grading, because the grading is, it's totally different than when you buy the lumber here, you want very clear, face and back. And this is not. Anyway, I mean, for the further like grading standard, etc., we can ask if you need. I can explain what is the grading standard. And number two is suitable what I need. So of course, when you buy veneer for door, for instance, you do not need the panel A or panel B grade. What you need is just door length. This is for having the high yield. So it's not much waste. And look, this is the bands that using, I think it's industrial grade walnut. So they make very nice bands. And this is ping pong table by Mikia Kobayashi. This is walnut veneer for the tabletop and solid walnut for legs. And again, this will not require a very high grade panel A veneer for the top. And look, this contemporary brutalist style cupboard in solid oak. You see that this, I think they are using lumber, industrial grade lumber of red oak, and they even distress the lumber to make the figure like that. And you see the price is about 11,000 US dollar. So again, for those kind of work, like the item like that, it's impossible without the designer. So it's I don't think the carpenter by itself, like the basic carpenter in Japara, will do like this without any designer. So I encourage to the young designer or the designer to utilize the wood. Don't be so picky on the wood, because wood is from the Mother Nature, and it's not man-made. it's not man-made. I mean, sorry, it's not man-made. So it's from the God. But you can utilize, work with any wood that you know can you create. So design. And this is again another sideboard. The sideboard is from the cutting of the vinyl and make the sideboard very beautiful. And on the right is the TV cabinet, and this is made of the. Can stop share? Can you go back to my screen? Stop sharing. Yeah, you see here, this is the end, I mean and they slice vertically. And I think you see on the right side just now, I mean the picture of the TV cabinet of the cutting of the end of the lock. This is lock, but I put the fleece so avoid any cracking, the end of the cut. Okay. Continue. Is in the United States, the hardwood species in United States mostly dominated by the oak. So this with American red oak, with the American white oak is about 30%. The rest like American ash, American tulip wood, American cherry, etc. So then walnut is only 1% here. And showing here is the walnut log, and still icy. You can see the ice. The logger cut the log during the winter season because they avoid the summer that can easily, I mean, the log can be blue stained. So this is American hard maple. American hard maple is also tapped for the maple syrup. In Canada, you can find a lot of maple syrup. And this is the project that using by Kitayama in Melbourne, using mostly maple. I add also in Indonesia, like sushi tea restaurant, they use a lot of maple. And some musical instrument also use a lot of maple for the guitar neck and also for the guitar body. This is American walnut. That is very famous. The heart of the log is dark. This is and they only take the heart, and the sap is also good for two-tone color. This is the woodpecker design for the KPMG bird. They are using walnut here. This is not good picture. It's ugly picture. It's from taken at my room. So look here. I used a lot of walnut and beech. The table made of beech lumber, solid lumber, and the walnut here. I used it's not called rejected, but my customer do not want to take because so many flakes. You can see the not flake, sapwood. So many sapwood. So I use for my own room, and look beautiful for me. For me, it's beautiful. And this red oak. Red oak is all oak, like red oak and white oak is bread and butter of the United States forest. So because it's plenty. And this is Bloomberg headquarters in London using the red oak. This picture is taken in my customer factory in Central Java in Semarang. They make the dining table, folded dining table, made of solid white oak. And this is supplied to Muji company in Japan. I don't think if Muji is still here, and the Muji in Singapore and Japan or in United States maybe, that they sell some furniture what they make. And this bunk bed also made for Muji. It's also in Semarang. So the bunk bed construction is very good. I mean, they can detach into 2 single bed. This all for Muji. Here is fireplace mantle made of oak and made in Jepara. You know, a few years ago, I used to export fireplace mantle to United States, especially to Memphis. And first I used mahogany, local mahogany. Although I have dried here, put in the kiln dry, but when it reached the United States, the fireplace mantle, carved fireplace mantle. So we have a lot of complaint, you know, Eddie, come here, I have to call for the furniture doctor to repair, and because of split. The problem is split. So I changed to the oak, the red oak fireplace mantle. And my carpenter or carver in Jepara complained about it's harder than mahogany, but it is successful. You know, it's successful, and I have no problem on splitting or crack. But my export is getting less because the carving is replaced by a machine, by computer, and supplied by other country. But some of my customer still appreciating the workmanship or the of the carver in Jepara. So they still keep on ordering, although it's not big order. Is it from a sustainable source? Did you know that every 2 minutes, the US hardwood forest grows by the size of football field? So football field in the United States is about 50 times 100 square meter, 50 times 100 meter. And did you know that it takes 0.57 second to grow in what? So less half second to grow 1 cubic meter of American red oak. This is not hype, but this is true. This is true. So an online life cycle assessment, LCA tool from the American Hardwood Export Council. You can click the American Hardwood Export Council and find the 3 life cycle assessment. There you can see a lot of, you know, like you can track and you can see how fast the tree growing there. And the American Hardwood Export Council now show the environmental impact of transporting all US hardwood species, as well as calculating the rate of replenishment in the forest. And here showing that the Forest Service of USDA in United States, like measuring the tree. So before you fell the tree, they have to submit the permit to cut the tree. And you know, the US Service, Forest Service, here is Kehutanan, is always tracking with NASA satellite, so how the forest grow. And wood may be the most environmentally friendly material available for building home and business. Wood products are produced from trees, naturally renewable resource. More tree is grown each year in the United States that is harvested properly in the USA, and then is harvested properly, repeat, properly, not clear cut. the waste is virtually eliminated if used to make wood product. And this is the showing the life cycle assessment tool by American Hardwood Export Council. Look, they are moving. So you can click what species do you want to see and how fast they grow and how long it will take to transport it to Southeast Asia, for instance. You can try this tool. Very interesting. Earth provides enough to satisfy everyone's need, but not everyone's greed. Gandhi. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Eddie. Wow. For me personally, it's such a really enlightenment knowledge. It's really fresh and new knowledge, especially because I'm not in an interior or architect industry, so it's really thank you for all the knowledge. Okay, we now entering the question and answer. Pak Arif, you want to ask one question? I'm sorry, I have to limit only one question because of the time, Pak.
Sure,
Please.
Pak Rio, thanks. I have one question, Pak Eddie. I think this is very interesting. You show us the Jepara traditional carving with the hardwood. How your experience about the local carving in Jepara? Because they usually use a local type of wood, and I've seen that you present some remarkable craftsmanship with the American hardwood. Because what I understand, there are some different hardness between the hardwood, US hardwood, and another type of wood, especially local wood. So can you tell me more? It's very beautiful design and beautiful workshops from Jepara craftsmanship.
This is maple that being carved in Jepara.
So, oh, that's maple.
This is maple. Then they also use a white oak. At first, they complain about it's difficult. I mean, when they carve from mahogany, now to have it's harder. So it takes more time.
Why maple instead of a white oak, Heidi?
Oh, it's from the customer request, and maple is for application. I mean, this to be applied on the when you are in United States and you have the fireplace mantle. You just decorate with this kind of small carving wood here, and it's all by hand.
It looks like a very complicated carving, Pak Edi. So I have some experience. If Pario, we can extend a little bit time, because it is very interesting. If our local craftsmanship can use American hardwood for carving. So last time, I think a few years back, we sent some sample to local carving. They try to carve with white oak, red oak, and compare with the mahogany and everything. So there are some different with the fiber strength of the wood. What do you think, Pak Edi? Is it also good to encourage our craftsmanship?
I think every would have. Yeah, you can. We have the list of Janka scale. This is to see the dense of the wood. So for the wood like maple, it's not a problem. Although it's hard, hard maple especially is very hard. This good musical instrument. That's why for the first time, my carver there in Jepara always complaining about the very difficult to carve. You can imagine, used to be the empuk, the very soft wood with the, lower
wood,
lower density like mahogany. So first complaint, but you have to educate them. Hey, look use this, because the customer need this lumber, so they have to use it anyway.
It's very interesting. I think beside for the industrial production, like lumber using for the top table, like you mentioned about the Muji and other type of production door, engineered doors. I think for the crafting is also very interesting to to introduce the craftsmanship for the people in
especially,
Jepara.
Especially for the small scale industry. I think we have to, what do you call it? That now it's a lot. It's replaced by the machine, but hey, we have to support them. And look, and some of my buyer in United States still appreciate how they carve by hand, especially like if you see the ball and claw is very detailed. And you cannot, I mean, the machine, sometimes when they use the machine, you know, it's funny. There's a big company, I do not want to mention it, make the ball and claw, kaki meja, first with the machine because they want fast. But then how it look be like divine, like the carving, they call the carver to carve little bit the carve after the machine with the computer. So it's funny. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Pak Ari.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think for the Pak Rio, and for the UMKM and the hardwood, American hardwood. So these two sides, they can merge together and get some a good experience in using local skill of crafting. And they're using with a maple, I think, or the redwood and everything. This is a good choice, and to introduce the UMKM also using a lot of type of wood. This is very famous, and they can use for the work UMKM product. Is it good idea, Pak Adi, to introduce for the UMKM?
Yeah, definitely we have to introduce to them, especially the species that available in United States. It's plenty.
Okay.
And do not forget, we also have the own wood. But on wood is, for instance, like, look, we try to minimize cutting of our rainforest, tropical forest. Like,
I agree.
we have to limit this, and we have a lot of plantation too. It's like Jabon or Falcata. That this is good for the substrate. So of course, this is not a well-known species, and this is the density is very low. But it's also still good for the substrate.
Okay.
Like this plywood. This is the Falcata plywood, and the surface is from the white birch. The white birch. In this part of the United States have the white birch too.
Okay.
And that's why I encourage again for the designer or the who have the home decorator, that you know, they do with the small cut of solid walnut. This is solid walnut, nice. for the pencil box, etc. And then I have also, this is the maple. This is jewelry box. This is from my daughter wedding gift. It's made of maple, and this is craftsmanship. It's in Bali, so I put the laser cut here, and it's for gift. And look, Paris, this is the maple. This is the walnut, and this is orang kaya, undangan orang kaya. So they make the made of wood, the invitation made of wood. And
how thick is that, Pak? How thick is that invitation?
It's 3 millimeter. They're using the 3 millimeter, and then they wrap the face as the walnut.
Okay. Pak Rio, still have time for question and answer from audience?
One last question, I think.
Okay.
And Pak Edi, please answer it really shortly and briefly. So according to your presentation, that is from Per Fries Knudsen. So the U.S. forest grow the size of California every day is the size of a football field every second?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Say again, Rio. I mean the football, the tree grow.
Yes, U.S. forest grow the size of the size of California every day. So it means that it grow the size of football field every second.
Yeah. I mean, 57 has grown like very fast. I mean, tracking from the satellite from the forestry service. So 57 is just one football, 50 by 100 meter. 50 meter by 100 meter is a football field.
Okay.
And this is not high. This is not high, Pak Rio. This is 0.5 second. It's not 50 seconds. 0.5 second. So just
okay.
So this is very quick. You know, So this is not. I mean, not the forest. I mean, it's not hardwood only. It's also the softwood. Okay.
So the whole forest,
the whole forest. And America is about 800 acre of land is all forested. 800 acre, 800 million acre. Sorry. 100 juta acre. 1 acre is about 4,000 square meter. So I do not know. You have to calculate. 800 juta kali 4.000. Ya, itu hutan di Amerika. Ya. So no doubt, it's renewable and sustainable.
For the calculation, I will leave it to the people who are really good at mathematics, Pak.
Not only mathematics. Yang concern about tree hacking. Yeah.
I know. Okay. So I would like to remind all the audience that please help us to fill the survey, and you can find it in a chat box, and it's available in English and Indonesian. So please kindly fill the survey so we know that we can have this kind of event more regularly. So I'm sorry because of the time frame and time limit. So we reached to the end of the discussion of the session of today. So I would like to make a short summary about our discussion. Thank you, Pak Eddie. So I know that American hardwood actually has a big potential, really, really big potential as a sustainable material for especially in creative industry, for designer, for architects or specifier, or even for a creativepreneur. I can say that it's an entrepreneur that in a creative industry. So because you mentioned not only a big industry like furniture or wood panel, but also you mentioned about neck guitar. So it's really nice. And because of the high versatility of the American hardwood, and it has standard grading rules that it means that reliable, especially for mass production, and also it measures the sustainability by having life cycle elements that being monitored even using NASA satellites. So I think that's all for me for today. So on behalf of Mayantara JAK.ID, I would like to say thank you to Pak Eddie, Pak Arif, for all the time and the knowledge and the really fun and interesting discussion. Thank you to all the Mayantara JAK.ID team. Thank you to the sponsor, AHEC. Thank you also for all the audience. I'm Vittorio Laksono, wishing you a great day. Thank you.
Nama saya Resto, nama lengkap Nuaresta, anggota HDII nomor 231. Nah, sebagai interior designer kita harus selalu mempertimbangkan kebutuhan dan keinginan klien yang akan kita terapkan dengan standar teori dan prinsip desain yang benar. Nah, HDII sebagai lembaga yang diakui oleh pemerintah bertugas menjembatani kita antara profesional, industri, pendidikan, dan juga dengan pemerintah. Saya ucapkan selamat kepada Mayantara JAK.ID.
Halo semuanya, nama saya Helena. Saya anggota HDII 598 DKI AB. Saya kerja di Desain Partners Indonesia sekarang. Nah, pesan-pesan buat HDII, semoga program-program HDII makin keren, makin inovatif, makin kreatif, terus banyak juga nanti desainer-desainer muda yang bisa ikutan gabung dan kreasi-kreasinya lebih oke lagi. Oke, maju HDII. Bye-bye.
Halo, saya Mira Prihatini, interior designer. Saya juga anggota HDII, Himpunan Desainer Interior Indonesia DKI Jakarta. Saya berharap profesi interior designer akan terus bisa beradaptasi dan maju ke depannya. Dadah!